Who doesn't want something to boost hormones? Who doesn't want something to produce more of a balanced respect to synthesis of cortisol? Who doesn't want something to boost body fat loss that costs nothing?
We become the jack of all trades. We're optimizing that daytime into like 20 hours instead of making sure that we're getting adequate sleep. Well, oftentimes people will come in off the street into the clinic just wired up. Maybe an argument with a family member, or somebody's sick or not doing well. They'll come into the clinic, and in the clinic patient room, guess what I have playing in the background? I've got a very soft, calming type of music.
Let's go.
Just 1 hour. That's all it takes. And a lot of people don't get enough sunshine because we've been taught the sunshine is bad for us. It will burn our skins. It will cause cancer, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is it does have multiple benefits, including optimization of hormones, including testosterone.
Oftentimes when we wake up in the morning, we just kind of slowly roll out of bed and we slowly get to the bathroom. And we slowly get to our morning cup of coffee. Now, if we would switch that habit and immediately go and open the curtains and look at the morning sunlight and get that stimulation to the pineal gland and to the brain, that's where that that's where that production of hormones and the balance of the circadian rhythm begins to happen. So, of course, cortisol should be highest in the morning, and you get that sunlight to the brain early in the morning, that spikes that little cortisol curve. And then if you spike it early in the morning, here comes that body fat burning through the day instead of spiking cortisol late at night with artificial light and then decreasing melatonin production because your light stimulation happens too late in the day.
Exactly right. There's a lot you said there. And I think I want people to hear is the idea you have this kind of indirect stimulus to process glucose better, even as well. One thing about it, if we start the morning off in a negative way, it's hard to rebound from that and
a
catch
negative
back
way
up.
Being what?
Meaning not get outside, not get sunlight. Started off with screen time. We've talked about that in previous segments, and that can start you off really in a negative pathway. Started off with a big old bowl of cereal and a muffin, all that stuff. That is not the best. And so if you can back that thing up and start with little healthy habits like this, who doesn't want something to boost hormones? Who doesn't want something to produce more of a balanced respect to synthesis of cortisol? Who doesn't want something to boost body fat loss that costs nothing? It costs nothing. We're talking about the sunlight here, and we've made a statement many times, there's healing in the sun, and there really is. I think people need to get outside more.
Yes, and we get our circadian rhythm gets so out of balance because of this fake artificial light that has come into our lives to perhaps get more out of a day. However, that really does disrupt the endocrine system, hormone production, not just testosterone, but as you stated, that cortisol, which people wonder, why can I not get rid of that spread around the middle? So if we go about balancing those things and bringing that nighttime light in, yes, it might mean going to bed a little bit earlier and getting up a little bit earlier so that you're awake as the sun rises above the horizon.
So as the sun comes up, keep in mind the sun is yellow, the sky is blue. Yellow and blue lights are more or less daytime lights. So let's expose ourselves in the daytime, especially at the beginning of the daytime, to the yellow and blue lights of the sun. Then you get the UVB rays, the ultraviolet B, that helps the synthesis of D, vitamin D, which helps the synthesis of testosterone. So therein lies another discussion. As you talk about night lights and the evening lights, you don't want those to be the white or blues. You want those to be more like a fire, like an amber or a red, because fire at night to give us light under the darkness. So all this stuff really does matter with this idea of circadian rhythms.
It does. And the circadian rhythm, talk about how that cortisol rhythm should look in a 24-hour period.
So the cortisol rhythm should come up like this. If you can see my finger, in the morning, sun comes up, it should come up like that, like the sun. Rapid rise, and then
Highest rise.
highest rise in the morning. And probably about middle of the morning, it starts to go down a little bit. And then you get this little bit of a bump in the afternoon. Not nearly as high in the morning. So a big wave, and then a small wave, and then it goes down and starts trailing off in the evening. And then we get this spike of melatonin. So you should get a cortisol spike in the morning, a melatonin spike about the sunset time, and then that sets the rhythm back up again. Believe it or not, this cortisol spike starts building up like a volcano about 4 a.m. in preparation to explode at sunrise. Because historically speaking, I would suppose, is that we were supposed to get up in the morning to run from the animals that crept into the camp that tried to eat us, or perhaps that crept into the camp that want to kind of kill for food. That's my thoughts on life.
That is good. So what does the research really say about the power of light?
Well, the power of light is something that we really need to understand. You know, I think God said it best in the beginning of time. He said, "Let there be light." Why do you say light? Because light came before life. So when light came before life, I think light gives us a clue that we need it for life. So a little bit of a biblical connection there for us, I think.
Reset your circadian rhythm by exposing your eyes and your brain to the early morning sun.
Is your sleep making you sick?
Coming up next. I don't know about you, but I have to have that cup of coffee in the morning. And Kingdom Coffee is mold-free, it is pesticide-free, and it is organic. It's got this flavor that is delicious. You don't even have to put cream or sweetener in it.
And it's Kingdom Cup with a K,
K.
right? So this is important. 50% of all coffee, at least, contains mold. And this is a key thing. That's in bean form, right? So you're going to be a little grinder. They're just a few bucks. Grind it up, put it in your maker, and make it. Why did we go with the bean form, the whole bean? Because ultimately the powder form is the one that gathers the most moisture. And that means the more potential mold development. So this is actually organic, mold-free, certified. It's got a little certificate with it. That's important because ultimately people drink coffee. It's cultural. And so we tried to meet the culture where it is and create a healthy alternative.
I don't know about you, but I have to have that cup of coffee in the morning. And Kingdom Coffee is mold-free, it is pesticide-free, and it is organic. It's got this flavor that is delicious. You don't even have to put cream or sweetener in it.
And it's Kingdom Cup with a K,
K.
right? So this is important. 50% of all coffee, at least, contains mold. And this is a key thing. That's in bean form, right? So you're going to be a little grinder. They're just a few bucks. Grind it up, put it in your maker, and make it. Why did we go with the bean form, the whole bean? Because ultimately the powder form is the one that gathers the most moisture. And that means the more potential mold development. So this is actually organic, mold-free, certified. It's got a little certificate with it. That's important because ultimately people drink coffee. It's cultural. And so we tried to meet the culture where it is and create a healthy alternative.
Hey friends, you already know the answer to this, but we'll ask you anyway. If you stay away from your favorite junk food for a month and then go back to supersizing it, will your health improve?
Well, that's the thing about change. To change, we have to be as consistent as possible.
And when we go back to an old habit, it's not the end of the world. We just get back at the new habit.
Before you know it, real transformation is evident to you and others.
That's why we offer a bunch of helpful bonuses when you subscribe to Kingdom Fuel.
Kingdom Fuel is our complete nutritional meal shake.
It's the simple start to a transformed life, and we'll auto ship every month so you don't run out.
You'll receive 2 free shaker cups, free access to our video courses, and a monthly call with us filled with practical inspiration.
Just see the link below or on your screen and subscribe today. Is your sleep making you sick? We know that sleep is absolutely an essential commodity for well-being and longevity. However, if sleep is not adequate and optimal, it can affect every single solitary system in your body, from your brain to your heart to your nervous system to, you name it, every single system. So we've got to practice good sleep hygiene.
Well, no kidding. Funny, the lack of sleep makes us sick. A lot of times I hear people say things like, I only need 4 hours of sleep, or I just can't sleep. I got too much to do. And I'm thinking to myself, you can't afford not to sleep. And the fascinating thing is, as we age, that gland that produces a good amount of melatonin before bed, that pineal gland, it actually gets smaller with age. So there's a tendency to sleep less, but it doesn't mean it's healthy, right?
That's exactly correct. So oftentimes, when we're young, when we're going through college, when we're getting married, when we're having children, we become the jack of all trades. We're optimizing that daytime into like 20 hours instead of making sure that we're getting adequate sleep. So by the time we get into our mid-30s and 40s, oftentimes we become aware of the fact that something's not right here, and we need to begin to optimize a good night's sleep.
Well, certainly, if we don't do it, lack of good sleep has been associated with weight gain, immunocompromise, depression, eating disorders. The list goes on and on and on. And we need to really understand that sleep is a benefit, I look at the sleep thing as like we're fasted and we're rested. When you're fasted and rested, you can heal, regenerate, recover, rebuild. And without that rest like that, you don't recover. And, for us, we've made it a point, and it's hard. I get it. You have to readjust your whole life. We get up early because you want to start early. But to do that, you have to go to bed earlier, which means you might miss some things. My question always is, what did you miss? Probably not anything you're going to miss.
A lot of times it's the loud noises on the TV. So if you're a person that watches TV, it might be that you just simply turn the volume down and start quieting the noise down around 6 o'clock. You don't have to turn it off at 6, but maybe let's just dampen the noise that's actually in the environment, from the TV to the radio to the computers to the ringtone on the cell phone. Those all affect your sleep-wake patterns, or the daily circadian cycle.
So we're talking about sleep hygiene practices. So we got to talk about noise. We got to talk about temperature. How should the temperature be in our house?
That's going to vary individual to individual, but probably 5 degrees lower than your normal daily temperature. You want to take that temperature down. Now, you and I sleep at a very low temperature, which is probably considered to be in the Arctic, if you will. But that's how we sleep best, is if the room is cool.
Well, and then we got to talk about the darkness. Sometimes that blue light from the television, the screens, and the personal devices will cause the Kelvin temperature to hit your eye, and it will create cortisol instead of melatonin. So actually, that will disturb your sleep, right?
Yes, I remember in residency when the daytime was actually nighttime for me. So I would have to sleep in the daytime, and that's a hard thing to adjust to. So I used blackout curtains in a completely sterile room. I made one room, the sleeping room, where there was no noise, no nothing. Nothing was in it except the alarm clock was set up close to the door, where I was sure that I would not, that I would hear it when it went off.
Well, you can think about typically people will take magnesium, melatonin, L-theanine, ashwagandha, GABA, things like that. And for ladies that take progesterone, those are good to help you sleep, and it's interesting, that people don't sleep. Sometimes people are resistant to taking those things. So I say, no. These are not negatives. They're positives. So taking those things is good, right?
Absolutely. And just like you said, if sleep is becoming out of balance, perhaps it's time that you want to visit with your clinician, your physician, and have your hormones tested, maybe possibly be tested for sleep apnea that could be disrupting your sleep, or maybe even get a sleep tracker and watch how you're doing with your sleep on your watch, a ring, ultra-human ring, or whatever device you choose.
Catch some Z's next time, will ya?
La 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 la. Can music have healing power?
We show you how next. Now we have it. Kingdom Crunch.
It's important to start breakfast off with a power-packed punch. You want a complete amino acid score, good protein. If you turn the label over and look at the back of the box, there is no added sugars in either one of these flavors, either peanut butter or acai bowl.
Peanut butter has 11 grams of high-quality protein. Acai bowl has 8. Peanut butter has 11 grams of carbohydrate, acai bowl 12, and both of them have a good solid fat content at 6 grams. Very filling, very healthy.
You will be fueling yourself with high quality fuel, starting off the day right. You can even use Kingdom Crunch as a snack in the middle of the day if you just have a craving and you want to eat something that is good for you, has a crunch, and doesn't have a lot of calories.
There you go. Diabetic friendly, keto friendly, paleo friendly, Kingdom Crunch, and
child friendly. Hey friends, you already know the answer to this, but we'll ask you anyway. If you stay away from your favorite junk food for a month and then go back to supersizing it, will your health improve?
Well, that's the thing about change. To change, we have to be as consistent as possible.
And when we go back to an old habit, it's not the end of the world. We just get back at the new habit.
Before you know it, real transformation is evident to you and others.
That's why we offer a bunch of helpful bonuses when you subscribe to Kingdom Fuel.
Kingdom Fuel is our complete nutritional meal shake.
It's the simple start to a transformed life, and we'll auto ship every month so you don't run out.
You'll receive 2 free shaker cups, free access to our video courses, and a monthly call with us filled with practical inspiration.
Just see the link below or on your screen and subscribe today.
Kingdom Candy with a K again. 2 flavors. We got salted
Delicious.
caramel and peanut butter. These are great. I mean, they're
kind of like a complete meal.
Yeah, they're 200 calories. People want to know that all the time, and not that we're worried about calories, but these things have great ingredients. They're not sweetened with sugars, and they don't have those false sugars or fake sugars, artificial
They've
sugars.
got fiber in them.
They do. It's interesting. Salted caramel crunch is our newest flavor. We'll come up with some other stuff at some point, but those can bridge the gap of that sweet tooth craving. They're sweetened with monk fruit. That's really, if you know what that is, it's not going to raise blood sugar.
It's really only 2 grams of sugar. I refer to it as the sweet without the cheat.
Any of these things out here are designed to be money-saving, nutrition-giving, and life-enhancing. And this is a big deal. So you'll find out, like thousands of other people did, that these things will help you live healthy longer.
I don't know about you, but I have to have that cup of coffee in the morning. And Kingdom Coffee is mold-free, it is pesticide-free, and it is organic. It's got this flavor that is delicious. You don't even have to put cream or sweetener in it.
This is actually organic, mold-free, certified. It's got a little certificate with it. That's important because ultimately people drink coffee. It's cultural. And so we tried to meet the culture where it is and create a healthy alternative.
Can music have healing power? Does it have any power at all? Let's just talk a little bit about the transformative processes that music can provide.
There is no question it can cause healing in the body. I think one thing about music, it has, I go back to Dr. Emoto's study. Remember that? Where Dr. Emoto, he put two speakers on the side of water. And he really did this high examination. This has been repeated many times. He played a bunch of, and the body, by the way, is made of about 65% water. So, got to get there. So, what does music do to water? And that would be translated to what might it do to the body? Because the cells have water. So Dr. Emoto put speakers on each side of this water, and he played different types of music. He played symphony music, calming music, and then he played heavy metal music. The water changed structures when he played these different kind of musics. When the water was exposed to the heavy metal music, the structures of the water became all confused and distorted, and they weren't aligned. They weren't similar anymore. It was just like broken glass. And there's these people can look this up. You can look this up, I'm telling you. And when he played the, like, symphony music or harmonious music or soothing music, the water changed structure. It was very calm, almost looking like a snowflake. It was very beautiful, designed. It had order and structure to it. I wonder if it does the same thing to our physical body.
Well, oftentimes people will come in off the street into the clinic just wired up. They've come through traffic. They've had a stressful day. They've had maybe an argument with a family member, or somebody's sick or not doing well. They'll come into the clinic, and in the clinic patient room, guess what I have playing in the background? I've got a very soft, calming type of music. One of my favorite artists is George Winston. He has never failed me, not one time, in the ability to calm the environment. Somebody can be wired for sound, wired out of their mind, their blood pressure is up, and they're anxious. Put on a little George Winston, calm in the background, and it completely changes their autonomic nervous system along with mine. So the whole experience is different based on what is playing in the background.
Well, there's no question. Music's been around for a long, long time, and it can become soothing to the soul, as we say. It's like a calming, de-stressing. Some people can get lost in the music, Some people can watch concerts for a long time. Now, I'll tell you, this is from personal experience. If there's a lot of heavy metal music going on, it doesn't relax me at all. It's like, that is not relaxing. But when there is relaxing music on, or instrumental music, it does tend to calm the body. And I suspect it's because it changes the environment, And so this might be a good tip for people out there. If you're really stressed out, get something on your phone and play it. I'll make a funny thing. I made a song for you recently, didn't I?
You did, and I've played it over and over and over. And just the sound and the resonance and the beat and the music, it's food for my soul, so to speak.
I use a little program, so it's a little cheat code. It wasn't me singing. I don't have that ability to carry a tune that well. But it was interesting how music does change the sound of the environment, but it also changes you within. Many times people that are happier, I've seen this before, and I think we all have, right? They will be humming a song. And the first thing we hear them when they come into our presence, they're humming a song or something. We're like, what put you in a good mood today? Oh, you see, so they were exposed to a song that reminded them of something, or they were humming a song because they were trying to generate something. So I think music is probably underutilized. I like that we play it in the clinic rooms because it does bring calm there, because it is an anxious environment. Wonder if it could be used in the hospitals. Just a thought.
Well, in some of the cancer institutes, music is a method of inducing healing. If you think about it logically, just the patient walking in off the street, they're in fight or flight. If we can take them and calm their nervous system and balance that autonomic nervous system and upregulate the parasympathetic nervous system, that is an environment for healing. So music can be a very important component of helping someone heal when they're in any kind of state that needs an uplifting tune.
I remember specifically, and you remember this too, we dealt a lot with COVID. And there was a lot of fear surrounding that. And I had to get on some people because they were in panic mode because all they were doing is listening to TV and stuff like that. And I told them, stop it, unplug your stupid TV and put on some praise and worship music. And that's all I want you to listen to for the whole dang day. And they did. And it changed the environment, because if you're listening to, don't take this wrong, you're listening to CNN all day, that doesn't encourage me at all. I'm like, this
That's
is
fight or
not
flight.
good, right? So I want to listen to calming stuff. Even when I'm working out, man, I don't listen to headbanger music. I listen to calming music because I'm not trying to wire myself. I'm trying to unwire myself. It's about de-stressing, not about stressing. You know, life's stressful enough anyway, so I'm using every tool I can to help remedy that.
So music has also been shown to increase the production of dopamine. And dopamine is a neurotransmitter that provides a sensation or an experience of happiness.
So get your dopamine hit by playing some calm music today. You might find out that it calms your nerves, calms your life, and might calm your whole body down from a cellular level. Pretty cool stuff. Music is great for the soul.
Hey friends, you already know the answer to this, but we'll ask you anyway. If you stay away from your favorite junk food for a month and then go back to supersizing it, will your health improve?
Well, that's the thing about change. To change, we have to be as consistent as possible.
And when we go back to an old habit, it's not the end of the world. We just get back at the new habit.
Before you know it, real transformation is evident to you and others.
That's why we offer a bunch of helpful bonuses when you subscribe to Kingdom Fuel.
Kingdom Fuel is our complete nutritional meal shake.
It's the simple start to a transformed life, and we'll auto ship every month so you don't run out.
You'll receive 2 free shaker cups, free access to our video courses, and a monthly call with us filled with practical inspiration.
Just see the link below or on your screen and subscribe today.
If you're suffering from fatigue, if you know you got toxic overload because you're bringing in stuff that's actually inflammatory and toxic, it's time to get your body in a place where it can function again, because toxic buildup can and does and will kill you.
Kingdom Detox and Kingdom Detox packets. So the body's completely nourished. It gets a little bit of rest because it's not having to over digest, so to speak, and it gets the right nutrients that support those phases.
That's why the Kingdom Detox process works.
Let's go.